No two cultures are more intertwined than that of tattoos and motorcycles. Our next stop was Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Riding through the foothills of the Appalachians, and it's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I knew there was gonna be hills and curves, and it's beautiful. I've been to Tennessee before.
It was kind of relief because I know Tennessee's only a few hundred miles from home, so I was starting to lighten up. I knew I was only a couple days out.
Denny lost my glasses, so I no longer had night glasses, thanks to Denny. That was fun.
I lost them, and I owe him a pair. Shame on me.
We stopped off at Evermore Galleries, which is owned by Shane LaLa Hartline. I've been communicating a lot with Lala. She's not only co-owner of the shop, but she's a tattoo model. She's just a big part of the tattoo community, and so is Shane. Quiet, heavy hitters in the industry. You know, they've been around for a while.
And they're gonna be tattooing Red Dog. Just about the time we pull in, rain opens up.
Man, we made that in the nick of time.
Just in time.
That couldn't have been better timing.
That was a beautiful ride once we got out of Atlanta.
I think that's Betty Page.
Howdy.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good, Red Dog.
Shane.
Nice to meet you, Shane.
What's up, man? Dave, nice to
Nice
meet you,
to meet
bro.
you,
Are you Lala? Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
I'm Robbie.
Nice to meet you guys.
It's a nice place. Much more of an art gallery feel to it.
Stuff was actually for sale on the walls.
One of the artists was in there and he was painting. Nothing about it screamed tattoo shop other than people in there tattooing.
Few shops we've came across, it's nothing but flash.
Yeah, that's all I ever worked in before, and I vowed to myself that I would not have that in my own
Yeah, I was
shop.
gonna say, for this area, we're the first shop to actually do this. In the first few months we were open, people would come in, just kind of look around and goes, I thought this was a tattoo shop. And then just walk out and we're like, this is for you to think for yourself. You know, what do you want? And we'll design it for you.
I think that was the best and worst decision we ever made in the tattoo industry, is to allow our clients to think for themselves.
Exactly.
But sometimes I would go, man, I just wish I could just take a break and go for a month somewhere and just tattoo at a street shop.
That's what I do. That's Monday I fly to San Diego. It's Marines and surfers. I don't have to draw everything the night before. I just wait till they get there.
Pull it up and tattoo it on them. Yeah, well, cool. He's gonna be getting the tattoo.
As far as tattoo, if you want to come and sit with me on the computer and we'll just look at real skulls, show me the designs you like.
He said that he would like to do a skull, and I just went with it. I really have not even seen it. I don't even know what he's doing. So I'm going into this one blind.
Right off the bat, Red Dog started with him.
This Windows 8 is a nightmare for me.
It's a slow system. It's kind of like 90s titties. They're outdated.
And Shane didn't know enough about computers to know that Red Dog was just with them.
You know what I do on my system? I run a G69. Is whenever I transfer my rotors over, it'll be able to flip everything, and then it dances onto the next screen. And then whenever it pops over, the image is right where you need it.
Shane was buying every bit of what he was saying.
Well, whenever the money comes in, I'm gonna go up to a Booster 8. You need to be running a Booster 8 to get the legit picture that you need. On a Booster 8, you can turn it any angle you want. You can flip it, you can reverse it. Take yours, multiply it by 100. That's what the Booster 8's running.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's excellent. Go ahead and order up a Booster 8 today. We'll flip that pic for you.
He's so full of Shane. Don't believe a word
Don't
he
believe
said.
a word I said, dude. I can't even work an iPhone.
I tried to let it go as long as I could.
Everyone's running the Booster 8 now. It's NASA.
It's NASA.
Tell me the story about your shop here, man.
I went to get tattooed when I was 16, and there wasn't a lot of really good shops around here. So instead of buying a tattoo, I ordered the stuff to do it, like kits, like the Spalding Roger kits.
Right.
All that. So I did it the wrong way and tattooed all my buddies. And so anyway, I was at the time dating this chick who happened to work at this bar. One of the guys that frequented the bar owned a tattoo shop, and he would see the work I'd done on her and pretty much gave me a job. I went in there on like a Friday, and I was working for Airborne Express at the same time, doing like delivering packages. I went in, worked like a Friday and Saturday, and made like what I made in 2 weeks at Airborne in a matter of 2 days. So I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Right.
I worked 7 days a week, 10 hours a day for like a year. And if you even wanted time off, just a real hardcore, strict guy, hard to work for. When LaLa moved here for California, we had kind of talking and mentioning opening up our own shop. June 1st was our 11-year anniversary. My good old LaLa in there, she takes care of me.
She's right behind you.
He knew that.
I knew that.
So how is it working as a couple in the shop? Because me and my wife own a shop, my wife meaning Denny. No, me and Denny co-own the shop, but and then we also own a vapor shop. My wife runs the vapor shop.
It's honestly not been hard. She does so much of the business side of it that I stay out of it. But I mean, if we are having our days where I sit here at my computer, she's in the other room. So I mean, we manage it.
When we're at the shop, we're co-employees. You know, it's business and that's it. And then when we walk out of the shop, it's back to being husband and wife.
You ride a motorcycle?
When my daughter was born and stuff, I had like 2 incidents here because texting and talking on your cell phone, all that's still legal in Tennessee. And I literally got ran off the road 2 days in a row. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. At the same time, I found a 30 Ford Tudor, and it's all hot rodded up. I wanted that car real bad. She's like, well, the car, we're gonna get rid of the motorcycle. So it was like, I ended up going with the car.
So I can tell by just the feel of it that you're using your shading needles. You do your line work last.
On stuff like this, if I do any line work, I will do it last. I'm fortunate enough to become really good friends with one of my favorite artists, Bob Tyrell, and I'd always notice when he would do his portraits and stuff that he didn't use an outline, and he just kind of explained it to me like, you know, you look at a picture of somebody, you don't see lines on their face.
Right. One of the guys that I really, really respect in this industry, and I think most tattoo artists do, is Bob Tyrell. To hear that he's friends with Bob is just another cool potential connection I'll get to make in the future with a guy that I look up to.
I just started using that approach, and I've gotten to where I use these curved mags instead of flat ones.
Me too.
I really like them. At first I didn't like them, and now I can't live without them.
Right.
You can also kind of manipulate the blacks. So I go from black to the grays without so much water. It kind of does it automatically just because the needle barely punctures the skin. It's just another one of those things I just started doing and just kind of got used to it. Now I can't switch back.
But he's one of the few artists along the way that has openly talked about how he had to advance himself to stay relevant in the tattoo industry.
That's with the rotary. I was like loyal to the coil. I'm not gonna go with rotaries, and I started using them here and there just to try them out, and I started really liking it. You know, in California, everything has to be disposable. Like the weight of those things with a cool machine, I just couldn't learn to adapt with. In the process, I've learned to love the things. Now I'm really starting to like them.
You know, he's trying different needles, and then he switched to the rotaries, and now disposable tubes, and it's just where the industry's going right now, or that's where I've seen it going.
So when you guys are talking about curved needles,
Yeah.
what is that?
The thought pattern is, you know, as you're holding this in, stretching it when the needle hits, if it's just flat across, all those needles aren't going to puncture that skin, especially on large groupings,
Right.
like 17 and stuff like that. You know, your skin curves when you push it. Same
Right.
thing when the needle hits it.
So a 13 mag means there's 13 needles?
13 needles, yeah.
How do you feel about the tattoo shows on television?
I think it's helped in a sense that like the older generation that frowned upon it so much seems to be a little more open-minded about it. Like me and my grandmother, my first tattoo is this big, and she tells my mother, she's like, he's got a dragon halfway down his damn arm. And it's like this little big black thing. But she found out I was going to do Kat Von D's convention. She's like, will you get me Kat Von D's autograph? I'm like, you know, the whole judging, let's see how many obstacles we can make these artists jump through thing, that shit's garbage to me. I've had friends been on it, you know, and I see them, and you know, they're getting their name out there.
I don't think that they walk off that show better than they walk
No.
on.
I think it's like anything. I mean, that moment when the person's sitting at home on their couch watching the thing, watching the show, whatever it is, oh yeah, I'll remember that. By the time they go to bed that night, wake up the next day, they already
like-
forgot the name, and once the show's off the air, that's the end of it.
And
That's the extent of the publicity right there.
I've noticed along the way, pricing is a little different from city to city, shop to shop. Pretty much universal, $100 to $150 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, as far as tipping in this industry goes, do you have anything on that?
I definitely appreciate tips for sure. It seems like the average is, like you said, seems like about 20 bucks for a $100 tattoo, you know. But then some people, you can go out of your way, let them have 14 or 15 of their friends sitting in here when they only have 2. Make jokes about the tipping sign and go out of your way to be nice to them and they're okay, see you, and don't leave you a dime. Those are the ones I'm kind of like, you know.
Right.
But, you know, I'm not honestly ever really offended if I don't get tipped.
You can definitely tell that the client, you know, is appreciative of their tattoo and your
Right,
time
yeah.
to do it, where other times it's more like a factory. They just feel like, oh, well, you had to do that because I came in and that's what you were supposed to do for me.
Right.
When you charge them $200, that don't go into your
Yeah, it's
pocket.
not.
That gets divided up, you know. That covers shop costs, sterilization.
Insurance, our rent here
Everything.
is pretty high. 11 years ago, you could walk out of a shop making $700-800 a day, no problem. Now some artists are lucky to make that in a week. It's honestly the artist's own fault. Everything else goes up and inflates, but it seems like the tattoo industry, everything's going down. Piercing, for example, piercing used to be what?
$70.
$75, $80, and then the jewelry was usually $25, $30 a pop. Now they're doing dual nipples for $10, and it makes no sense to me. Everything else goes up, gas prices, food prices, but tattoo artists still just want to undercut to the point where you're not even making any money.
Good?
Good, man.
I got this for my son. We're big World War II guys. He actually enjoys the aviator side of it too, and I thought it'd be a great way to get a tattoo that was able to be in the realm of what Shane wanted to do and still be able to get something for my son. He pulled off an excellent tattoo, and I couldn't be happier with it.
What I got today, I didn't expect. This feels like home to me. I like Shane a lot. Got to watch him do a kick-ass tattoo on Red Dog. It was a good day. Big Dave definitely approves.
Big Dave, I'm here with Rick, the Sauce Guy, friend and producer of Tattoos and Turnpikes.
Beer sauce shop, 500 craft beers, 200 artisan sauces and rubs. But the fun is, every week, free events, tasting experience at our shop. Stop on by, beersauceshop.com.
Big Dave approves.
Heading from Chattanooga to Nashville, at one point there's this body of water on the right-hand side and the mountains over here, and up ahead you can see the storm clouds.
It was actually probably the most beautiful scenery that I saw the whole entire trip.
I thought the ocean was a beautiful ride, and then I got up into the mountains. There were several times where I was choked up because it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen.
One of them moments, man, where from leaving my family to riding with my friends to making new memories, we're approaching the end of the trip. I've just went through this whole gambit of feelings.
There's parts of me that want to see my family. There's other parts of me that would love to do this for 5,000 more miles.
I was actually looking forward to just the history that Nashville brings.
It brought back a lot of childhood memories, watching the Grand Ole Opry with my grandparents. It was very emotional for me to be there.
We've got an appointment at Kustom Thrills. Chris St. Clark is going to tattoo on Red Dog. Chris St. Clark is a very well-respected person in the tattoo community. He mostly specializes in black and gray portraiture or photorealism.
As we get on the road, it starts to sprinkle. Well, as the rain picks up, then he starts falling back.
I look over and Denny doesn't have glasses on. I've been through this with Denny before where he rides without glasses and rides like this and he's like, I'm cool, I'm cool. You catch one rock or bug in the eye and you're done.
I had lost a pair of glasses, so I bought a pair of gas station glasses. For whatever reason, it tunneled the wind right underneath the glasses. My eyes were so wind burnt, and everybody, wear your glasses, wear your glasses. F you.
We can only slow down so much, and Denny's backing up. Well, Red Dog, I notice, is backing up.
I have to split the difference where I'm keeping an eye on Dave and I'm keeping an eye on Denny. Finally, I lose Denny. I look forward to Dave. I've lost Dave.
All right, see. He said he couldn't make it one more second. He had to pull off underneath a bridge.
So he just stopped? He just pulled off?
Pulled off.
I ended up going to Bass Pro and spending $50 on a set of glasses. The retail price on them was $49.95, and after I wore them, I believe they're worth about $5.
We're on a tight schedule, Being in the industry ourselves, we know the importance of showing up for your appointment.
We finally all get to meet up and we finally get back on the road and try to get back on schedule.
Still wet from this morning.
Me too.
Where'd you get them new glasses, bro?
Bass Pro.
How many people told you this morning to put glasses on?
Did you have some in your ass?
Did you know last night that you weren't going to be wearing glasses today?
When I went in the bathroom and soaked my eyeball under the faucet for 45 minutes.
Did you know this morning when you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning that you weren't going to have glasses today?
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to rain.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's going, man?
Dave, man.
Goddamn, man. Really good to meet you, man. Welcome to Kustom Thrills.
It's got this whole warehouse feel to it. It's like 4,000 square foot tattoo shop.
It was very big, very well put together.
One thing I did notice, they have a nicer floor than we do.
Lounge area over there and this big, cool wraparound counter.
Little studio here, and he's got a studio over there.
This shop didn't happen overnight.
Chris is going to be tattooing on me today. I'm getting a portrait of Popeye, not a cartoon. We actually went with a real person's face. So, I mean, Popeye is just the coolest cartoon when I was growing up.
There we go.
How long have you been tattooing?
18 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, it really feels just like yesterday when I was offered an apprenticeship. No breaks in my career or anything like that. It's just been kind of full throttle. I was at Sacred Heart in Atlanta 8 years, and then I went to Savannah for a few years, and then I've been up here for 8. I didn't like Savannah at all. I just wasn't in a good spot, and I had a little girl. Me and her mom had separated, but I didn't want to not be with her, you know. And they decided to move here, and they brought up the idea of Nashville. I don't know, it's just a real amazing environment to be in. It's like the land of opportunity, you know, because nobody has time for BS here, you know.
I've drove through here before, but never went downtown and looked around. And like, I mean, people were having fun. People were waving to us. People were riding this trolley car pedal bike thing.
Yeah, so yeah, the keg bike.
The dude is all about rock and roll and hot rods and motorcycles. He kind of breathes that whole lifestyle, man.
Dude, you could see any band you ever wanted to living here.
You know, when I first moved here, that wasn't the case. It was hard pressed to find anything outside of rockabilly and country, and now it's become such a hub for music in general.
I got a couple buddies that live up here. They're musicians. Yeah, this is the place, man.
How many artists you guys run here?
There's 8 of us all together. The hard thing is to find someone with a good moral character and have a high skill set. We've had our fair share of knuckleheads. It's not an easy thing to do, and there's not many of them out there. I guess some people get kind of mad at me for saying this, but I don't really care for a lot of tattooists, and I don't get along with a lot of them. I think some of the new kids these days are kind of full of themselves, or, you know, there's a lot of egos and stuff like that. So it just makes me kind of angry, man. Just the ridiculousness of everything right now. Something's got to change. I think this bubble's going to burst before too long.
The tattoo craze?
I don't know. I think like everything, you know, the tattoo craze,
It's the overabundance of people wanting to do it.
it is, you know, it's people that don't deserve it. You know, I feel like this is a very sacred job to have, man. It's a skill to learn, you know. I take it very seriously. I had a guy who was tattooing, I don't know what it was, just a color piece when I used to do color, and he looks down at his arm and he's like all confused. I'm like, what's wrong, man? He's like, how does his skin know how to keep changing colors? I'm like, did you just say that? I was like, what in the do you mean, man? He's like, I mean, once that scabs up and falls off, I don't understand. I'm like, get the out of here. Well, how do you know when to stop taking drugs?
He told us one of the funniest stories.
I had this girl come in, she's looking to do some design. She's checking all this stuff and she picks something out. I'm like, cool, yeah, you know, it'd be this much and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And I go, where you want to get it? And she's like, I guess here.
I love that story. Oh, thank God, because this is where my stuff is.
Tell me what kind of cars you have.
Right now I got a 54 Chevy. It's a full custom. It's a Bel Air.
I've always loved cars. I've had probably 25 or 30 different classic cars.
Oh yeah,
over
man.
time.
Yeah.
In the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 3 right now I'm playing with, but I've got my heart set on a 66 Nova.
Nice. I have my femme fatale is Triumph motorcycles.
Yeah.
They like come into my life like mistresses, and I entertain them, and then they just slip through my fingers, you know.
Right.
He's toured quite a bit doing the convention circuit.
Tomorrow he'll be at this convention in another state, and then a week from now he'll be in Hawaii scuba diving. Plus he's in a band. He's just got this busy, crazy schedule. I was really excited about talking to him about how he manages all. Doing a convention in St. Louis doesn't really make sense to me. It's in my hometown, you know?
Gotcha, yeah.
Like, that's my time to get some education, to go and sit and watch other people work, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, conventions are my whole life. I stay on the road like every 2 weeks. You know, I'm gone. So it's actually every 10 days. You know, 4 days out, 10 days back at home, 4 days out. I've been doing that for my whole career, but the past 7 years, you know, it's been ramping up to like 20 shows. That's my goal to hit every year.
20 in a year?
Yeah, and that's a lot, you know.
Right. Is that driven by money or just because you enjoy them that much?
Man, I just enjoy it. There's just a lot to learn about this industry, man.
Well, I think right now it's so oversaturated with people that don't respect it and don't have a knowledge of it and all this stuff. And that's what we're choosing to focus on. But there's a whole lot of good people out there. I mean, look at the convention circuit. There's a ton of people that respect it and know it and love it. And
I've got werewolf tattooed on my knuckles, right? If you're gonna be a wolf, man, be a werewolf.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly bear.
right.
Definitely am not a sheep. I think that's something we all have in common, is that we're all free thinkers. You know?
Well, you said werewolf, man. I gotta tell you, on the streets of New Orleans, we meet this kid who found a credit card of Spacey's. Anyway, he comes in, returns the credit card, and somehow gets into a story about how he's a werewolf and how his friends are his wolf pack.
Then all of a sudden, Vampire Bill jumps out from the shadows. She's like, the werewolves, get out of here. Killer.
Thank you, sir.
Here, you want me to help you?
Yeah, please. Easy, easy. You gotta. It's just awesome, man. This is how you wrap it up. You get to Kustom Thrills, you meet Chris, he knocks out this tattoo that's just smoking hot. This is how I want to wrap up the journey.
He was a pretty humble dude. I really liked that he was another car guy.
It was cool to sit and watch him lay out a realistic black and gray piece, see the types of inks that he uses and the style that he tattoos.
When we left there, he pulled out his bike off showroom floor and he hopped on and he said he knew this very biker-friendly bar and he wanted us to have a drink with him.
On top of that, man, we got to cruise down Music Row. We're riding a motorcycle down that street. You hear all the music coming out of all these places and got to check out the Johnny Cash Museum. Nashville is such a cool city.
We went to go hang out with my buddy Isaiah James. It was awesome to be around a friend that's welcoming, to eat some barbecue.
Anything that reminds me of home is welcome.
And he played a couple songs for us. Be able to end the night a little early, be able to come over here, sit down, relax. Feels like we're not on the road. Tomorrow we head back and drive to St. Louis and then make our way to the block party. 20 days in, man. What I set out for and what I got are two different things. This has been a struggle, man. The awareness of my family and, you know, the sacrifices that they've had to make for us to be here. It's awesome, but it's been a struggle. Got to see things that most people never experience, and we got to do it, you know. You can't put these feelings into words. We got to make all kinds of new relationships. I can't wait to see what this trip does for my life 10 years from now.
Renegade Preacher, got in my truth like a dog on a chain. Lord, like a renegade preacher, got no one saying it. You know it's a shame.
Right on, man.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
Hey, this is Big Dave. If you want to stay in touch, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for all new content.